Okay, it is D-Day here in my shop. The D, of course, stands for drill. Yeah, it's time to re-drill this post hole. Now, in the absence of $150 or so to buy a drill press that has the space I need, the folks on the Facebook group recommended a drill guide. To do that, you basically use the drill press to drill a hole in a board and then use that as a guide for your hand drill. So that's what I'm doing. As you can see, I have measured this thing I don't know how many times, and I have my big C-clamp here holding it in place, but I didn't trust it not to move this way. So I went ahead and put a nail in here. It is only just poking into the wood. It's not going to cause any harm. It's just holding everything in place. So I'm afraid I can't avoid this any longer. As you see, I moved the tape on my drill bit to compensate for the thickness of the board. So hold your breath, cross your fingers, count to 1. Whatever you do, let's do this. Yep, well, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to basically set the bit in the guide. Then I'm going to go very, very slowly. We're going down as opposed to off to the side somewhere. The way it's shaking, I get the feeling we've got the two different kinds of wood arguing with each other. But I have what appears to be a nice straight hole. As far as I can tell by feel, it didn't break through over here. And so the next matter is to take this guide off, take a look at it, and then, assuming I do have a decent hole, put the post in it and see if the bridge finally fits. So let's do that now. We'll get all this stuff off of here. Okay, I'm just going to dump out the drill dust, as I like to call it. That is a nice hole. I don't know how well you can see right there, but it is going into some nice good wood. Yeah, I still have this here to deal with, but I have a plan for that that I'll talk about in just a moment. First though, let's put this post in. And we will see if I measured right this time. From what I can tell, it should be, but yeah, as they say, the proof is in the result. So we'll very gently put that in there. And we will put this in. And then, please tell me it fits. Please fit. If this doesn't fit, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But it does. Look at that. Look what I did. That is a perfect, perfect fit. All right. We have that. Now I can go ahead and start taking steps to strengthen the wood here so that we don't get anything breaking out if I do happen to get wild. So that doggone, look at that. Look at that. I confess, I am proud of that. Even as a second effort, I am quite proud that it only took me the 2 tries. So a lot of people I know wouldn't even attempt this. They would say they're not crazy. And they're probably right. And you know what? I dig being crazy. So, there we are. Now, the next question is, how do I strengthen the wood here? And I discovered, I'm not sure I can get it to where it's visible, but I discovered that I actually have a little bit of wood pooching out right here in front of the other one. So I need to reinforce all of that. How do I do that? Well, once again, my buddy over at Guns and Guitars comes to my rescue. I will show you what he does. This is your basic wall hanger strap for hanging up pictures. You put the little nails onto the picture and then put the nail in the wall and you hang this on it, and it's got several different teeth in it so you can fiddle around to get the picture straight. But you know what else they're good for? Reinforcing things. Flatten it out, bend it like this to fit, and then we'll also glue it, but we will put it right there. I'm not sure how well you can see past my fingers, but we'll put it right there, and it can reinforce that wood there. I'm doing a lousy job of showing this, I know, because it's alive and it keeps wanting to go somewhere else and I keep telling it no. But anyway, so hopefully you can see it there. I've got it going around the corner just to make it stronger, and I will actually put 2 on here, one high and one low, and then I'll shape a couple more and come over here and put them on this corner. After I do that, I have some good quality wood filler coming, and I will fill this hole in with that, and then we should be good to go. Once I get all that done, I will be able to go ahead, put the bridge in, put the springs on it, and put strings on to make it into a guitar, and to get the balance between the strings and the springs in the back so that the bridge is setting right. All that will happen after the wood filler gets here, which is going to take a couple of days. So, fast forward. Alright, I have one in place here. I'm leaving the nails loose, and I'm not snugging it right up against the wood, because once I have the other one on here, I want to run some glue down here behind them and then tighten them up. So, now one problem is keeping that in place, putting a nail there, and trying to hammer it. I'm using the little bitty nails that came with these things. I think his name is Dan over at Guns and Guitars. Didn't do that. He needed a little more reinforcement, and so he used some small screws. I get the feeling he can be a bit more energetic with his whammy bar than I am, and so I'm just going with the little nails. Now, the biggest problem is holding them in place, but that's what this is for. Fans of Guitar Time will recognize my good old hemostat. I will clamp the nail into the hemostat, and now I have a way to hold it in place. So, I'm going to put that there. With the hemostat, I will hold everything in place, and we hammer. Now, in here gets difficult because there's no room to swing a hammer. But I have a solution for that too. What I'm doing right now is I'm using the head of the hammer to push the nail in enough to get it started. And then I'm going to take a flat screwdriver and I'm going to lay it against the head of the nail, and I will hit the screwdriver to drive it in. Now, I can hear somebody asking, why don't you just leave the hemostat on it and hit that? Because, well, I tried that. The hemostat actually slides on the shank of the nail when I do that, instead of driving the nail in. So, yeah, that was a grand experiment. That didn't work. And so let's do this again. This thing is not behaving. I'm sure you can see that. Alright, stay put. It's not staying put. Okay. That's better. That's where we're going. Right there. So we will get it started. Take the clamp off. And now, yeah. It was working so well when the camera wasn't rolling. I did not have that happen a single time with the other one. So, yeah. I think these things are getting stage fright. Alright. Hey guys, I turned the camera off, okay? So you can relax, okay? I turned the camera off. They don't know I'm lying. Okay. Alright. We have a nice hole started there, actually. If I can get the nail to stay in it. Alright, now we get our screwdriver and we go like that. Now this wood really is good and soft. And so it doesn't take too much to drive one of these itty bitty nails into it, as you saw. So I'm going to pull that back just a little bit, like that, so I can run the glue down behind it later. And then we'll get the other one. These things are so much fun, both to work with and to try to keep track of. They like to wander. So you have to you know, the ideal thing would be to fit them with a GPS, but I can't afford that, so I just try to pay attention. Alright, now here I actually have room to swing my little soft hammer. So there we go. That corner is done. It's all nice and reinforced. Later on, I will get my wood glue and I will run some down behind both of them. And as it starts to set up, I'll go ahead and tighten up those nails and we will have a good strong corner there. So, I'm going to wait to do the other one until the wood filler gets here so I can do it all at once. The wood filler is here, and The biggest reason I went with what I did is because of this. I can cut that off to where it's almost microscopic, and I will be able to put the filler exactly where I want it. So that's why I went with one in a tube. So first thing to do is go ahead and cut the tip off at an angle, of course. Now alright, I have to cut it a little further than that. Apparently it's finicky, so it just wants to prove it's tougher than my nail clipper. That's what's going on here. And you know what? It's right. So we will resort to the handy dandy X-Acto knife. So we'll just shave off a little bit more. There, I think I see a hole. I do indeed see a hole. And I've got filler coming up it. So, alright, now I'm going to zoom way in on this so we can see exactly what's going on there. Alright, you can see the damaged portion there. You can see the straps here that I have fastened to it. Those have a good amount of Gorilla Glue behind them, over, under, and around them, and everywhere else. I did the same on the other corner that is outside the shot. That one doesn't matter. This here is where the damage was, and so I focused most of my energy on making sure these are good and solid and not going anywhere. So now let's fill in this hole. And here we go. Alright. I can see the filler going in there. Yeah, it doesn't want to move as fast as I want it to move. Which makes sense, I suppose, because I'm kind of anxious and it's not. But we are getting there. We will do it a little bit at a time, make sure we get it filled in good. Make sure we get it clear down and all the way around this post. So, you can see we're getting to the top here. So now I'm going to come around here. I've got a hole there that I saw. And so I'm going to make sure that is filled in. And I think maybe I'll put some extra up here so that I can level it out after it dries. See if I can smooth it there a little bit. Okay, you know what? We will let that dry for a couple of days just to make sure it dries way down deep and everywhere else. And then we will move on to installing the pick guard and installing the bridge and everything else and putting this guitar together. Incidentally, if you want a little bit of a chuckle, you may notice that I actually have the bridge on it here. The reason for that is because those tuning machines that I put on the other end are so heavy, if they don't have the counterbalance of this bridge, then the whole thing tries to go flying off the chair. So, yeah, feel free to have a good laugh at that, because I do every time it happens. All right. I think we are pretty well done for this episode. I will be doing some sanding on that later, and I may go ahead and have my wife touch up the paint. In fact, I think I will do that. I think I will have her go ahead and touch that up, because that is going to be right about where the clear pick guard is, and so it is going to be visible. So, but we'll take care of all of that off camera, and when we come back, we will put the guitar together. Thank you for watching. I'll see you then.